I hope you're ready. So if you want to talk about the future, please welcome Ms. Laira Faridoon. And she's a thought leader, public speaker, and author. So please share a round of applause to her. Laila is the founder and CEO of Looking Forward Consultancy, specialized in business and digital consulting services, utilizing her strong mix of technology and business skills. She has 20 years of deep experience in innovation, project, and corporate management. And Laila, what I like the most, you're passionate about challenging the status quo.
Always.
Oh, yeah. So welcome back to Vilnius. This is the second time you are here. And before the conference, I asked you, may you become the, the ambassador of this beautiful city. What do you think about it?
I'm honored.
Okay, because this year is the best year to be here in the city of Vilnius, because this year we celebrate 700 years birthday of the city. And we call it Forever Young City.
Forever.
Yeah.
We all join that.
Yeah, so thank you again for coming here, and we are looking forward to your keynote, which is called Business Competitiveness Through AI and Big Data Analytics. But be careful, because you heard, we have, artificial intelligence already installed into the conference, because you heard when Edita and Inga had their welcome speech here on stage, we have like the third speaker, which comes from ChatGPT. So.
Well, guess what? We invented ChatGPT. So
oh, yeah, okay. So we're safe for now.
I mean the tech people.
The floor is yours.
Thank you. So, good morning, everyone. Excited to be here? Out of 10, are you excited to be here? Okay, good. Okay, it's my pleasure to be here. As Edith and Inga said, it's about the future. Actually, the future is here. We're already in the future. We're creating the future. And we're here today to talk about the impact of emerging technologies as AI and big data analytics. I would like to bring some childhood memories to you.
Meccano, the cat of tomorrow. No feeding, no fussing, no fur. Clean, efficient, dependable. Thomas, oh Thomas, come in here and see what I've got. Thomas, meet Meccano. Mr. Meccano here is taking your job as mouse catcher. Are you through laughing, Tom? Then watch this. Is it okay if I laugh now, Tom? That's how it is, Tom. Progress, the machine age and stuff like that.
So, how many of you have seen this? Most probably don't remember it, right? Okay. So let me ask you this question. How many of you think they will lose their job because of AI? Good. How many of you know someone that might lose their job because of AI? Okay. Good news is no one is losing their job because of AI. Bad news, there are some actions you need to take, or you will be impacted by the emerging technologies that we're talking about. We are here today in a bridge this year specifically to talk about this, to educate you and help you to understand what are the implications and how you can avoid losing your job like Thomas. Moving forward, McKinsey issued a report. They estimated that, assuming that the emerging technology takes over. And of course, when we talk about emerging technologies, we're talking about big data, we're talking about AI, we're talking about IoT, blockchain, and the different emerging technologies that emerged as a result of the fourth industrial revolution that created what we call today digital economy. So this digital economy is expected to impact 50% of the world economy. Can you imagine that? This is equivalent to 1.2 billion employees with 14.6 trillion in wages. And only half of that is concentrated in 4 countries: US, India, China, and Japan. Of course, assuming that all of them move into the right direction and they implement the right technologies and have the right caliber to generate or to get the benefits out of this kind of emerging technologies. However, of course, when it comes on a country level, the implementation depends on many factors. One main factor is the economy structure of that country. Are we talking about an emerging market economy, or we're talking about a developed market economy? That will make a big difference. So that's on a country level. On an organization level, and what I'm going to talk specifically today, is how do we ensure that we have the right approach to achieve business competitiveness out of the emerging technologies like AI and big data analytics. So I'll share with you an approach, but before doing that, let me just refresh your memories with certain terminologies. So when we say AI, I know it's so popular, but what is AI? In a very simple language, AI is simply a machine trying to mimic a human being. That's it. The extent you can imagine. So you just saw ChatGPT, what it could do, right? And I'm sure everyone here has already experienced or used ChatGPT. So there are not any more limitations like before. And why is that? Why AI is so advanced? Why suddenly we started, like for the past 3-4 years, we started hearing about AI, all the applications of AI, about generative AI. Why is that? Because of big data. So big data, huge data. In order for AI, in order for a machine to be able to mimic a human brain, it needs huge amount of data. And now we have this huge amount of data, what we call big data. And 10 years back, we didn't have this amount of data. ChatGPT is functioning very well because of one main reason, because of the availability of the data. So as you know, ChatGPT get public data from the internet, and that's how it works. So AI need to be trained on what we call big data. And out of that, once AI trained and ready, then out of that, there is something called big data analytics that we use to gain the insights from machine based on the big data. So big data analytics simply is what? It's a collection. It's not only technology. It's a collection of data, policies, infrastructure, skills that all together can generate a value by correlating, filtering, and generating insights from a huge amount of data that eventually will help a business to make informed decisions. Yeah? So what is this approach that I'm talking about today? How any business, any organization, how you as project management community can use that approach to ensure that at the end, your organization or your projects are achieving the desired results. So, as I said, digital economy. So digital economy is the main economy that we are all competing today. The AI and big data has transformed and reshaped how the business are competing, functioning, innovating with all the current disruption that's happening with the emerging technologies. So accordingly, business, they need to react to that. They need, as Edith said, they need to reorchestrate. Reorchestration is very important with all your resources and capabilities in order to be able to manage the change that's being generated by this disruption. So I'll share with you five-step approach. Yeah, 5 steps approach. Number 1, strategic objective. Why? We know that everyone is using AI. We know that everyone is moving with this direction, but the question is why? Why for your business? Why in your business you think you want to use AI and big data analytics? What problem you're solving? Are you seizing an opportunity? What's the main objective? You need to be very clear about this. Not because my competitors are using AI and big data, I want to use it. No. Of course, it is inevitable to use it, but then you need to have clear direction or clear understanding why. And specifically here is portfolio management. So we know in portfolio management, we make sure that we select the right project that will end up satisfying certain strategic objective. So when it comes to AI and big data, if you're a project manager or portfolio manager working with this kind of projects, you need to make sure that to your users, to your stakeholders, that the objective is very clear. Why they're using AI and big data? Do I want to enhance customer service? Do you want to improve your efficiency? So that needs to be clarified at the very beginning, and in order to be able, at the end, or once a year or two upon the implementation, that you're ready to assess whether the benefits are being achieved or not. You can see that now we can see everyone is moving into that direction, but then, very important to understand this. Number two is assess your digital capabilities. And when I talk about digital capabilities, I'm not talking about technology only. So when we talk about digital capabilities, we're covering three main aspects. We cover the tangible, and that's the technology, the infrastructure, let's say AI infrastructure or big data infrastructure, network. We talk about human skills. So do you have the right technical and managerial skills to deal with this kind of emerging technology? And then the third one is the intangible, the most important one. Culture, governance, policies. So make sure that you have all this ready for you to be able to implement and start utilizing big data and AI in your business. And then number three is organizational capabilities. And what is organizational capabilities? It's simply a collection of everything. It's a collection of skills, of policies, of procedures, of culture, of how your organization interacting at the end to achieve its vision and business objective. So that's organizational capabilities. It's a mix of, again, tangible, intangible, and human resources to be able to achieve certain objective. An example of organizational capability is decision-making. Within your organization, if we're talking about AI and big data, so we said it helps you to make informed decision. Do you have the right decision-making procedure? Do you have the right culture that support decision-making? Are you empowering decisions on different level, or it's only concentrated in the top level? So that's very important to be ready and mature in order for you to be able to embrace such technologies like AI and big data. And then moving forward, the fourth one is choose your business area. So at the very beginning, we said you need to be very clear about the main objective. Now, once you chose that objective and clarify it, now you need to be clear about which area. You cannot just go and implement it in all your business units. You need to be very clear, very careful here. So choose the business area. Do I want to implement this for my customers, my customer department, for instance? Do I want to implement this in the production lines? Do I want to implement this within the organization? Choose your business area, build your use cases, and accordingly move with it. You can also, something good you could do here is you could check your competitors, or you simply check the market. What are the different business areas that's been popular with using something like AI and big data? I could give you one example. Predictions, of course, that's the easiest way. You could use now AI and the advanced AI for the predictions. And when we talk about prediction, we're not talking about simple prediction like weather forecasting. No, we're talking about more complicated task that's been done, maybe not even been done previously by human. So, and as an example, there is a bank that, do you believe this? They avoid to be bankrupted because they have AI that warned them based on certain data that they need to do 1, 2, 3, and otherwise they will be bankrupt. This kind of prediction we're talking about. So understand what's already been used, utilize that, and build and move with it. And then we move to the fifth step, and here, implement and scale. And this is core of project management. This is you as a project manager need to make sure now, The 4 steps I already talked about should be there already. Now, when you come and you want to start implementing this project, you need to make sure, as I said, the 4 are there. But when you start implementing as well, as I said, do not go big bang. Gradually, do it gradually. So implement, let's say that you chose customer service as your business area, and your main objective is to enhance, let's say, customer satisfaction, increase customer satisfaction. So these are clear now. Now, about the implementation. Make sure as a project manager here that your stakeholders understand this. Make sure that your customers, how you're going to prepare the customer to be ready to deal with something like an AI and big data. There's a change in behavior. Although everyone already moved to a digitized, I would assume everyone now, and specifically post-COVID pandemic, everyone already moved to an online or digital platform. Yet, you need to make sure that your customers understand what's happening. And when you change a main surface with them, you need to prepare them as well for using that surface, right? Also here, you need to make sure, as I said, the internal, that like your people or employees, the culture within your organization, is it ready to embrace something like AI and big data? Would it support? So if you as project manager generate, let's say you use ChatGPT or any other AI tool, and use the information provided, it gives you some insights. Is your manager ready to accept that insights coming from a machine? Would your manager accept? That's very important to understand. Is the organization really supporting this kind of technology or this kind of change within their projects? That's very important to understand in order to be able to move forward with implementing your project. Scalability is very important, as I said. Start in certain business area, assess, learn what you could enhance, and then you move to next. And that's when you start scaling. So you could scale on different business units, or you can scale on different, let's say, if you have branches, then you can scale in different branches within your organization. Now, I understand it's easy said than being done, right? But then, in order for us to move forward, we need to overcome certain number of challenges before we're able to implement, or before we're able to get the benefits out of AI and big data, and this benefit simply will be your business growth. Let me ask you this. How many of you are already working in AI and big data projects? Okay. Can you share with us what kind of challenges you're facing? Just one. Sorry? I can't hear. Data quality, okay. What others? Who knows? Real-time data. What do you think, what are the main challenges when it comes to implementing projects like AI and big data? Security. Lack of experience. People are afraid, yeah. Ethics. All of this is right, yeah? So because we're dealing with something new, and we're dealing with, I would say, a new set of capabilities and skills here, so people will be reluctant to start using it. People will be reluctant to start learning it, yeah? So the first challenge I want to share with you is speed. The change, unprecedented. The change that COVID-19 was in 2020, post-COVID-19 21 till today 23, you know what happened in the technology, right? You know how AI has evolved since that time. Actually, a few days back, the technology giants, they all met in the US Congress. They are discussing now how to govern AI, because they're really concerned about the speed of the development of AI and what it could do. Ethics, privacy, as we all talked about here, very important to be addressed ASAP. Otherwise, it would be too late to start managing all the damage that could happen. So speed is very important, and in order for your business to stay in the business, you need to move fast. Change happens, so maybe agile concept will work now when it comes to project management. You need to choose the right tool, the right methodology, the right skill to be able to move fast with all the change happening around us. Number 2 is learning and training. New skill. And I don't talk only about digital skills here, right? You need to be digitally savvy when it comes now to this. You as a project manager, PMO, or portfolio manager, you have to understand now what is AI, what's big data analytics, and specifically, you need to understand what the impact on your business and your organization. What are the main issues that will be resolved? As we said, number 1, you as a project manager need to understand that. And you need to have more as well. You need to keep updating yourself with happening and this kind of technologies, emerging technology, and specifically the business impact of it. If you don't know this, then you won't be able to help in managing any project. So learning and training very important for the project management community and for everyone else who's involved with this kind of technology. Organizational culture, and I already talked about this. Believe me, it's not about installation. You could have good financial fund and you could install the best AI and big data technology and infrastructure, but then that's it. If you don't have the right culture that support, as I said, using insights generated from big data, generated from machine, then that's one of the issues you're facing here. If you don't have the right mindset, be it at the managerial level or at the operational level that will be able to deal with AI and big data, then that's an issue you need to look into it. If you don't have the right governance and policies within your organization that would support this kind of change and transformation within the organization, then that might be an issue. And that's why, as I said, it's easy said, but then when we come to reality, we have a lot of barriers that we need to overcome in order to be able to achieve the ultimate goal of using such technologies. Of course, policies and regulations, I just mentioned, so they already met on a global level and the US Congress to address this issue. And country level, so this would be very interesting now, because in country level, you would see different countries working on setting different policies, and this is the right thing. A policy for Lithuania, for instance, might not work for UAE, and vice versa. So the decision makers, the policy maker, they need also to be educated and have sort of a digital literacy about what's happening in order to be able to establish the right policies for that country. And then you can cascade down that to the organization level. Again, your organization policies might not work for others. So that's very important also to understand and have the right mindset to build that. And then the last one is offline population. Although we are all digitally connected, we can't forget there are a large number of people that are still offline. There are people in the poor countries that they don't have even computers, they don't have electricity, and that's the second revolution, second industrial revolution. So, and this is a huge percentage, I would say, of the economy of any country and globally, yeah? So offline population, so you need to look into your business. Do you have any offline population? Regardless why. Maybe they're old mindset people, they really prefer to do it the traditional way, yet they don't want to be digitally savvy. It's their choices, right? So there might be different reasons why we have offline population. If not within your business, maybe in a global level, because eventually it will affect all of us. So that's very important also to consider when developing policies and projects for transformation toward AI and big data analytics. So what do we do? Beside overcoming such challenges that will take a bit of time or a bit longer time than expected, the only advice I will leave you with, reskill. As I said, no one's gonna lose a job, but if you don't reskill, you will be impacted. That's why I'm telling you, as a project manager, PMO manager, portfolio manager, reskill, learn. Learn what we mean by emerging technologies, Learn about what we mean by AI. ChatGPT, for instance, do you know what is ChatGPT, how it works? Learn that it all depends on big data. So big data is very important to be available within your organization, within your business, and ready to be used. As I said, not only about installation. So that's very important. And this is also very important not only for you, for the coming generation. Even when it comes to your kids, you need to start teaching them how to reskill. You cannot now tell them what they need to, or they wouldn't know what they want to be in the future because it's changing. We know that all jobs that existed before doesn't exist now, and new jobs have been created. So you need to have critical thinking. That's very important. You need to learn critical thinking. You need to learn problem solving, and these are the major skills that we need moving forward. Plus, as I said, learn the digital literacy, be it at a managerial level or be it in your projects level. That's very important, and I'll leave you with that. Thank you very much.
Laila, thank you so much for your keynote. And if you guys have any questions, just raise your hand. We have the mic in the audience, and you may ask your questions. Of course, we've got some questions on EarMeet.
Okay.
At least one. But before that, sometimes people say, the more I know, the more I understand that I know nothing.
True.
Is it the same situation with the big data? When you deal with the big data and when the big data is growing, and it's growing every day, every second actually, right? Maybe it means that we each day far more behind that big data.
Yes. But then it's all about what you do with your big data. It's not about only having big data, it's what you do with this big data. So you need to act fast on what you do with it. We have a lot of data even from 10 years back, but then what did we do with it? Nothing. Now we're doing why? Because we have advanced technology like AI and generative AI that could help us to deal with this kind or this amount of data. And it's very much affordable when it comes to the price-wise as well.
As you mentioned before, we need to conduct that big data orchestra, right?
Yes.
I will ask the tablet. Thank you so much. Well, we've got one question from, surprise, from Inga Ablingene. Dear Laila, are there any estimations how much companies should invest in AI acquisition in their business ecosystems?
Well, there is not one thing that will fit all. I would say go to your business objective. Main objective, why you want to invest in AI. What are you solving? And how much you'll get out of that. And then you need to run your financial calculation and come out with it. There would be some basics, I would say basic infrastructure that you need to build regardless, because as I said, we know that we are all moving with it. You don't want to be lagged behind, right? So have the basic infrastructure built for technology like AI and big data, and then for more specific tools to be used, for instance, like specific tools to deal with big data, like big data analytics, certain statistical tool, or certain visualization tool or dashboards, that all depends on the necessity within your organization. For instance, how many times you're going to use the dashboard? Are you going to use it? That would be the way forward in all your management meetings, for instance. Then yes, that would be worth investing, and so on.
One more question we've got from Mr. Arturas. True analytical AI is an incredibly powerful tool in project management. How about generative AI? Is it something that will transform project management? Should a relaxed attitude of generative AI towards truth and accuracy be seen as a major risk?
So generative AI proved to be good, I would say, but it all depends on the data. So within your project management, if you're using a generative AI, what is your data? What's the amount of data you have? Do you have the right amount that you can now say that I'll move to generative AI to generate, to make decisions for me? You cannot just make a decision out of 10 years, only to, I would say 10 years projects data. Would that be sufficient or enough? And of course, it's not only about that. You need to consider all the other aspects as well. You need to have all the data embedded. For instance, you need to have the financial data embedded into the system. You need to have, I would say, different kinds of transaction beside your project data in order to be able to make a decision. So yes, however, it depends on having the right data and having the right I would say the right operations already built, because having a data is not enough. You need to start working, converting, cleaning your data, and so on. So it's promising, yes, for project management as well as all the other industries. But again, depends. Data, very important. Do you have the right data? And then do you have the right mindset and culture to deal with it?
Thank you. Any more questions? I know that Edita, she always has the question.
Of course.
For you. Okay. I will bring the microphone to Edita. What's your question?
First of all, thank you for coming back, dear Laila. It's
My
really
pleasure.
good to see you here.
Same here.
My question is more about bottom-up approach.
Okay.
You mentioned that it's very important to get stakeholders' acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
So what if manager doesn't agree, right? But my mindset is already bright. Is there a simple recipe how to change the opinion?
Of the manager? Well, change the manager. As simple as that. We don't have time.
Simple as that?
Yep.
Change the manager.
Yep.
Okay, more questions. If you don't have any questions, we're going to move forward. And at that moment, I will ask to give thunderous applause to Laila Faridoon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.